Sans? Sans, wake up!
What is it, dude?
A human has fallen from the surface world!
Really? And you got a bone to pick with him?
No time for puns!
Come on, that was a real rib tickler. Hey!
Enough!
Alright, here we go again.
Welcome to the underground!
How was the fall?
If you wanna look around,
How was the fall?
we don't see humans often.
How was the fall?
I'll be so popular when I show all the monsters what I just brought in.
Hey, Papyrus, how was the fall?
Can it stands? No time for banter.
How was the fall?
You're just lazy and apathetic.
How was the fall?
Another bad joke and I'm finished with him. We are monsters, the awfulest kind.
How was the fall?
We can relate to your determination, because we monsters have our motivations. Humans betrayed us and left us burning. One day we'll make our way back to the surface. Through all your travels, your sins will follow. Your consequences aren't easy to swallow. Who's the real monster? Now you should know. You've got this story down to the bone.
Really, Sans? The last line of the chorus is a pun.
Yup.
You imbecile! That was very clever.
How was the
You're stuck in the underground.
How was the fall?
Good luck ever getting out.
How was the fall?
Could show mercy to us.
How was the fall?
Is your heart full of evil?
How was the fall?
I, the great Papyrus, challenge you to try getting by us.
How was the fall?
Brilliant Sans that will leave him befuddled. I dare you to try a bite of spaghetti.
How was the fall?
Stop it, Sans, I'm done with the joking.
How was the fall?
Can relate to your determination, because we monsters have our motivations. I am the mastermind, he's my accomplice.
How was the fall?
You'll lose your mind when you wander for hours. You might even decide to start talking to flowers. Who's the real monster? Now you should know. You've got this story down to the bone.
Someday I'll join the royal guard. When I catch this child, can it be that hard?
How was the fall? 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 How was the fall?
Down here in the underground,
How was the fall?
we wanted to tell you now.
How was the fall?
If you survive this prison,
How was the fall?
don't mess around with monsters.
How was the fall?
You've come far, but soon you'll stumble when I stump you with some junior dumble.
How was the fall?
Alas, I'll hit him with my special attack. Leave me alone!
How was the fall?
One more pun and I'll be done.
We can relate to your determination, because we monsters have our motivations. You know your story's already been told. We can play again if you sell your soul.
How was the fall? How was the fall? How was the fall? How was the fall?